You're watching It's Your Money, and I'm Deborah Uroda, News Director for Durango TV News. And in the studio today, we have Charles Spence with Maine's Bradford Ships and Cheftel, and you specialize in estate planning, is that right?
I do, yes.
And what is estate planning? I've heard a lot about it. You should do that, Deborah, you should do that, but what is it?
Right, I've heard that from other people. It's a good question because I think it's something that confuses a lot of people. The amount of jargon and terminology that's thrown around by professional advisors really leaves people wondering, what is the concept? Well, at its basic level, estate planning is essentially a set of core documents, a series of legal documents that essentially allow you to transfer your assets upon your death, as well as to manage your assets or your personal well-being in the event that you're incapacitated. You have assets that you accumulate over lifetime, your stuff, and you want to determine, how is that going to pass? You know, who will receive my stuff and how will they receive it?
Now, is that a curse or a blessing?
Well, depending on what you're wanting to do, it may be a little bit of both, yeah. Yeah.
And what's the simplest you can get away with from your perspective?
I'm going to give you my best lawyer answer. It depends. It's all based on your personal facts and circumstances. So depending on the size of the estate, the assets you may own, the types of assets. Are you married? You have a spouse? You have a partner? You have children? You have a blended family? Do you have any beneficiaries that have special needs? You know, maybe they have creditor concerns. Maybe they have divorce concerns. All of these are kind of a small number of factors, at least on the asset transfer side, that you need to consider.
Wow, so really you need to contact a specialist for estate planning to make sure that they're looking at your individual needs and your family's individual needs. So it doesn't behoove you to just one size fits all. You need to fit it to the circumstance.
I think that's right. I think that I would recommend that at a minimum you actually consult with a professional advisor, and depending on the recommendations made, you can assess and evaluate your situation and what you may need.
And what happens if you do nothing?
Well, that's a good question. And that's always an option. You can do nothing. Now, it may work okay for you. It may not. What happens if you do nothing is that essentially Colorado law takes over. And Colorado law will dictate, okay, do you have a probate? Who would be your personal representative to manage or administer your estate in that case? And perhaps most importantly, who your beneficiaries are and who would receive not only their identity, but how they receive the property and what percentages. So that's just on the asset transfer side. If you don't have powers of attorney in place and perhaps you're incapacitated, then you're left with individuals, family members, friends, advisors trying to seek guardianship, conservatorship on your behalf through the court system in Colorado. It could be time-consuming and cumbersome and also expensive, depending on the situation. So.
And it also can get those siblings in a fight, which
That's right.
ruins relationships. It's very clear. You know, my mom left a very clear will about who gets what, and she says, promise me, girls, that you won't fight about it. Well, she made it very easy for us by telling us what we were going to get. She's very proactive, and I really appreciate that from her. Well, I know you're going to be coming back to It's Your Money several times over the next course of the year, and we're going to talk about all these details, so people should stay tuned and watch It's Your Money with Charles Spence, and we'll learn all we need to know about estate planning. I'm Deborah Uroda for Durango TV News.